Okay. Good morning and good evening, team. Thank you for joining today's session. And today we are starting a new module, which is called web service. So in the starting introduction itself, I said automation means most of the time it's all about the front end testing, GUI testing. So Selenium falls under that category. Later, I'm saying like 10 years back and all web services it is dominated, but not in terms of testing. Now, most of the companies, the projects, they are moving towards web services. You will understand why that much it is important, why someone is moving to web services rather than why everyone wants to implement this web services. Yes. First, we will focus on web service manual testing using SOAP UI and then automation using the Groovy scripting. So it is going to be both manual and automation. And after SOAP UI is done, then Karate framework. It's a sort of a framework which is developed above the Cucumber framework. Recently, we saw those topics also. Then rest assured is there. Rest assured, that is very important right now. If you go for an interview, they ask for the rest assured only. So I'll just recap the modules which we are going to cover in upcoming days. So any queries as you have, what you can do it parallelly, you can put that message in the, you can put your queries in the chat. I will read that and let you know. So how much we have completed is Java completed, Selenium completed, TestNG, Cucumber framework, Maven, GitHub, Jenkins, this Agile, Jira. Here we are here. That is module 11. SOAP UI, manual testing, then automation testing. Then we have something called Postman API that we will see the manual and automation, followed by the Karate framework. Karate framework is best, Avi. Rest assured is also good, but Karate is best as of now. Then, based on the time, either I will complete this rest assured wire mock. This is again, so it is like in the starting, what we learned is all about something related to Selenium automation. So Java, Selenium automation, TestNG also Selenium automation, and the Cucumber is also that Selenium automation. Everything we learned about front end. If you go for any interview, you can Google it, all the job description. Definitely there will be some opening on Selenium using Java, no doubt on it. And in the interviews, like 90% of the questions will be from this area only. There is no doubt on it. But there is another part which is booming. Rather than saying booming, now people started focusing more on to the web services. So web services. It means what? The remaining 10%, we are going to focus multiple tools like SOAP UI, then Postman API, then Karate framework. This is everything manual and automation testing, not just automation, and rest assured for rest response. So in interviews, SOAP UI means experiences will go with the SOAP UI. Nowadays, everyone moving into the rest assured. Even if you work in a rest assured, this Postman API, everyone will have that tool and test it. What they are going to test and all, I'll come to that. So this is the second phase of training. And the third phase is Python automation. This is purely for your future. Future in sense, at one point of time, you're going to be an architect or some advancements going to happen in the automation side. So they will be moving into automation. So this is the last modules. I'll go for it. And if you consider all this, either it's a Python automation or web service or Selenium, there are some tools which are common like GitHub, Jenkins. So, which is already completed. Please make sure you are not missing these two keywords in your resume. This is something what I'm doing it here. I can put it into GitHub, execute from the Jenkins. Same thing I can do it here. Same thing I can do it here. So in short, never miss these two topics. It may look hard, but trust me, this is the most important topic. If you put Jenkins means that covers CI, CD. I didn't teach this topic during the class, but we will be seeing the CI, CD. I taught how to execute the automation script using the Jenkins locally, then uploaded the code to the GitHub. This is there in the YouTube, but I didn't teach you how to execute Jenkins not from the local, directly from the GitHub. So that is called CI/CD. That one topic I'll be definitely teaching you very soon. So please make sure this and this, it must be in your resume. And web service. Okay, let's go to the web service. Why these many tools? Why not one is enough? Means I'm saying the problem is the recent product-based companies, latest advanced projects and all, they are going with the rest assured. And SOAP UI is something like it is there for more than a decade. So such a it is such a, you can't say outdated. Still, the companies are using SOAP UI. So both of them dominating in the industry. And these two, this is going to reduce your work a lot. We can also test it using Postman API, but still, either you use Karate framework or rest assured, you need the support of this tool. Manually, you can put some request, get some response. This one is for automation. It is an open source tool. It is created by Indian from Bangalore. And without knowing any coding, you can also automate web service. So this is a codeless automation framework. Some of the companies are moving towards this framework. So that's the plan actually. Okay. Now, let's first understand what is this Postman API, now what is the web service, everything. So, and just everyone able to see the screen, right? Go Ibibu. Yes. Okay. You can put a text also. Now you have to interact it because it is not live. You have to talk. This is only our team members. You just reply me the answer. For example, if you want to book a flight ticket, just we are focusing on book flight ticket. Just tell me what are all the ways we can book a flight ticket. What are all the ways? Tell me.
Through online website.
Okay, online, third
offline
party website, offline instance.
a counter maybe.
Counter. Yeah, you can say airport counter.
Travel agents.
Travel agency. Then
Paytm.
Sorry, Paytm.
No, sorry, it's online.
Something Paytm or using a payment app. Like let's put like that way. And any other way. We can call and book to the customer care. Do you know that? We can call to customer care and you can book a ticket. And what this is a third Go Ibibo is a third party website, right? But every company will have their own website, right? Company website. If you go on any flight, any airline, they will have its own company. So as of now, I'm just putting like this. So you just tell me, I have booked a ticket. Now, okay, this third party website, mean it is just maybe go IBPO, make my trip, plan my trip, something maximum you will have 10 websites. Let's put maximum. Airport counter, at least it will be at least 100 plus. How many airports? We have so many airports, right?
Mhm.
At least 100 will be there. Or else, okay, 50, let's put it. International, domestic, or whatever it is. What about travel agency in India? It will be,
Tons, lots of them.
it will be in thousands. Everyone understand? Literal truth, right? It will be like at least all over the India, at least 10,000 plus Gen Z will be there. What about this app? It is used by
Millions, maybe.
millions, right?
Yeah.
It's customer care, maybe like 5. So okay, 10 plus will put it. Company website, each airline will have its own website. Let's put 10 plus. Okay, tell me one thing. While booking a ticket, I'm going to book a ticket. You gonna book a ticket. Is there any 1% possibility that we both will get the same ticket number, same seat number?
No.
No, right? Is there? Have you ever imagined? See, just imagine these many ways everyone trying. I'm talking only 2%. Just put it as everyone. Some will book here, some will book here, some will book in different agencies, some will book using app. So many, like let's put lakhs, millions of not millions of people are going to book a flight ticket. Is there anywhere some mistakes will happen? Like your payment is done, but seat is not available, or same seat is given to 2%. By chance, 1%, any probability for that? No, right?
No, I haven't encountered that, Vinith, so far.
Very rare. You're bad. Okay. Mostly payment may be an issue, but same flight number, it is not at all possible, because once the payment is done, that will go to the respective person's transaction ID. That seat number will be blocked automatically. Okay. That's a front end. See, now you think it like a back end. How many apps? How many apps means you can imagine? Like, it is not like every website will be developed with the help of same programming language. Some website will be using Python, some website using C++, not C++, using Java. They will use different programming language, different app, mobile app, then customer care app, desktop app. So these many things are interconnected. But when you maybe like when you book like, okay, Chennai to London, the second you book something and done and go for the search, how you're getting this information? That is the question. How you're getting the second you get search, what is happening in the backend? See, you got some flight details, and the flight details are not just for single airline. See, you have prefer just 3 only. It is there. Air France, this multi-line. If you put okay, let's put Delhi. We should get more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 airlines, you're getting these details in the fraction of second. And thus again you book here, automatically in other website, that seat will not be showing. It will say it is already booked. And see how the complicated, and when you consider all the scenarios, it is going to be the most complicated integration. How it is done is with the help of web service. So now only we are going to enter into web service. So this type of integration, booking, all this, everything happens in this is a front end. You're giving some data. Thus again you put update or a search. What it will do is it's giving some information. But how many places it will travel is, now I'm going to put some technical word. So remember that there is something called client, then server. These two words never forget in your life. 2%. Communication happens between client and the server. Client means the person who's now we searched some data, right? Flight ticket, some destination. You mentioned like to and fro. And thus again, when you clicked on search, what literally happened is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 company server. This will go and hit 6 company server, whatever it is, wherever that particular servers is integrated here or given access means it will go and hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 servers and it will give the response. So all your queries I will answer at the end so that recording will be in the same flow. So what you will do is here client, what you are doing, you are sending the request and finally what you are getting some flight details. What is that? That is nothing but response. So any website, any app, you are going to do something. What will happen is 2 party will come into the picture. One is client, another one is server. So you hit the client. So you enter something. So what will happen when you hit this? Automatically, it will go and hit the server. Or another word, there will be some database. In that database, all the flight details will be there, and it will give the response. Now, in this website, we can able to see all these details. See all these details. The second you book here, anyhow, a lot of now what we will do, we will book and we will enter all the value. Final transaction, when you click it now, what will happen is now comes even more complicated scenario. Nothing but three party will come into the picture. One is website, that is client. Another one is server. Server means the company, airline company, that one, where that is the server. Tell me this GPay, is that belongs to this company or some other company? GPay, PhonePe, HDFC. That payment, is that belongs to the company or third party?
Third party.
Third party, sir. Third party.
So payment model, payment. So this all what is this actually? Now see, you're going to search for a flight. You're getting a details. You book, the second the payment is done, what will happen? It will go and update the details in the company server. Like, yes, this ticket is booked. When someone hit this server again, make sure you're giving the latest information. Everything happens in the fraction of a second. So this is how it is happening is with the help of something called API. Everything is API. I means interface. We already know what is an interface. Interface means hiding the internal information and showing only the functionality to the user for the security purpose. So when you implement the concept of interface, very simple, we can't see what is the internal code. But through this API, you can interact. You can go and talk to the everything we saw with the API. Chrome driver, that is an API. Firefox Keiko driver, it's an API. You can automate the web browser, but we can't see what is the development code of every web browser. But through they are giving, okay, you can come inside and do whatever you want, but come in this way. This is the way I have allowed. This is the access I have given. Everything it is through API. So now with this knowledge, we'll go back to the slides. So here comes the definitions. What is an API? API is nothing but application programming interface. So API, that full form you must know. It's an interface. You don't have any idea about Interface means we have already completed those modules. Please go and watch the Java topic. Clearly, we have seen it. So, is a software interface that allows two applications to interact with each other without any user intervention. What it has nothing but the client server. So you're sending the request, you are getting the response. In between, there will be another one will get payment. So there also this will happen. Finally, you're getting this. So when you consider any application, what they will do, every company will have their own API. So it means what? I'm not going to show what is the program I have done, what is the internal code, but I am allowing you to access all the feature whichever I am providing you. So every company will have their own API. This API details will be shared to the developers. So when they configure it, what they will do, so when you hit the search for the particular flight, what will happen? It will go and hit all the servers as configured by the developer and finally give the details. And when you do the payment, it will go to the payment API and finally it will be updated to both the client and server. So this is what will happen. And here, no human intervention, without any user intervention, this will happen automatically. And again, this is used as a code that helps to software to communicate and exchange data with each other. So everything, it's all about database. In the database only, we are having these details. If that is the case, then the data needs to be communicated. No, there are two ways the data will be communicated. One is using XML file, another one is using JSON file. Remember, we'll see one by one. XML we already know, but JSON, it's totally new for you all. So how it is communicating is through XML file. In the XML file, we will have a node. Every node will have some value. That is how when you click the second, what will happen? This will go and hit all 5, 6 server, 10 server. From there, you will get the response. So we are talking each other in the format of XML or JSON file, which we never know. Nowadays, in the starting stage, XML was used. Now, most of the communication happens through the JSON. Anyhow, I will come back to all technical stuff. See, this is an introduction. When we saw so many practical example manually, at that time, you will get full clarity.
Vinoth, we are not able to hear you. At least I'm not able to hear you.
So
We are
it's
also
not
not able to.
audible.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not audible, sir.
Now you should able to hear me. Yeah.
Yeah, right now.
Actually,
It's
just
okay, sir.
mic. By chance, if my voice is breaking or if you are unable to hear it, please same way you raise the hand. Okay, for better clarity, I'm using IT mic. This and another one. Okay. Yes. So in simple, there if you see, it is all about two application. What is two application? It is client server. You are sending something that is called request, getting what? Response. So some technical terminology, you should never forget it. And in other words, API is a messenger that delivers your request to the provider and you are requesting it from and deliver the response back to you. There's all different types of a definition. That's why I just mentioned whichever you feel easy, you just go with it. Okay. Let's put how API works with another example. Okay, for example, if you go to Paris, you believe it or not, in most of the Europe country, they will talk their own native language only, not English at all. There are maybe in the city, they may talk, but if you move away from the city, they will not talk English, even small scale shops. So with that, not assumption, that's a real scenario. So you go to some shops, some restaurant, as an user. Now you are ordering something, some food. So the person comes, waiter will come. You are saying like, oh, this food I needed, this food I needed, this food I needed. So the thing is, maybe you put English, this guy let it put French. So now this guy, I think this is chef. We know it's a chef. So this is waiter. So the waiter will know both the language, right? English, French. So what is the duty of the waiter? Will come and understand some language and will go and explain to the chef, okay, this is what I needed. And finally, the food will be ready, will come and give it here. So this is a one more example of API. So API means something going to happen, communication going to happen between the two application. One is client, that is where it start, client. Another one is server. So these two words never forget. So here English is the common language. Through English you are communicating. Here it is through French. So there is some medium. There is some medium. Through that medium only you are communicating. Same way this client and the server, how the way it communicates through XML and JSON file. Remember, using two files here, one language, right? Same way, of course, XML is a language. Through that file, because that is the file which stores the data, very lightweight. It will be in KB, you can send it. Not most, 99% bank transaction, any website transaction will happen only with the help of XML or JSON. Even web automation, how you are sending all the methods. So Selenium 3, there is a JSON protocol actually in the architect. When you automate a code, launch the application means through JSON protocol, it will be mentioning like get or post, it will go and launch the application. So the communication happens through JSON. So there is some way, there is some median. So here two things are there. One is XML, another one is JSON. Okay, two story we are done. I hope somewhat some technical terminology you get an idea about that. Now, why we need an API? The question comes. So in the olden days, like 15 years back, what is the biggest problem of any development is, for example, you have developed an application using Java, another application using .NET, another you now only Python gives. So three applications in a different programming language. So I should be able to communicate, right? I can't say, man, everyone start doing in the Java. It is impossible to go and tell to any company. Some companies blindly follow Java because of some security reasons. Some company wants to make it more better way of looking, a lot of stuff there. So they go with the Python. So, but still any application, the data needs to flow between the two things, to entity, to application. So there comes the issue. At the time, then they decided, okay, let's create something called XML concept, hypertext markup language. We will try to communicate between these two applications through this XML file format. I hope you all remember testng.xml. In that, we used to give the tags, same concept. So why we need that? And this is one. Another one is with different OS. One is with Windows. Another one is with Mac, Linux. But still it should communicate, right? This communication. So there comes API. It helps two different software to communicate. Again, these are all software and exchange data between each other. Easy one to understand. It helps you to embed content from any site or application. Same thing. And it can access app component, deliver the service and information more flexible. Now, mobile app, all the apps SAR comes into the market. Yes, correct, Praveen. with the help of any one way, JSON or XML, that I will go inside. Then the content generated can be published automatically. It's nothing but the request. It is giving the response that I can show it. It allows user or company to customize the content and service with they use most. For example, what is the request you are asking? Based on the access, based on some configuration, they will give the response. One simple example is I gave a meeting invite to join the Zoom meeting. Zoom meeting API is there. So what is an access for you maximum is you can unmute. That's it. Even you can't open the cam because I have already configured in such a way that you can't open the cam. So configuration settings are done in the app. So now when you try to, if you are the host access is there, where at that time when you try to open the cam, so how this data is flowing? You are in somewhere, then the same app in somewhere in the company Zoom server where we will not do. Then I am here. The second you click on, okay, open the cam, sending the request, all this data, how it is going? Either XML or JSON. So that configuration, it's very easy. This gives a customizable content to provide the service according to the needs. And software needs to change over the time. API can help to auto anticipate change. Nowadays, .NET applications are very less. But 10 to 15 years back, .NET and Java are equally important. That's why JUnit, NUnit was there. But nowadays, what happened is the second Java started dominating the industry, everything went Java. But suddenly what happened now, Python is moving, everyone moving to Python other than the banking securities applications. So the software, the programming language, the server, everything will keep changes. Whenever you make any changes, we have to make sure the data exchange should not be affected. So that is why we need an API, because it says that you are communicate between these two, you have to follow this format. If you follow this format, irrespective of whatever the programming language, whatever be the operating system, I can communicate with them. So that is the main reason we need API. Okay. Now, one sec, let me see some of the queries. If two communication have a HTTP protocol, that is where I'm coming. Next topic. Yes, you are right. I was about to cover that, Ravi. Exchange data with the help of, yeah, okay. So now, what initially we saw that through API, this API is not only for web application, mobile app, internet application, any application. So everything happens through API, through that it able to communicate. Now comes, so if you put API this, there is one part which is called web service. One entity, one area. What is that? Web service. So web service is a standardized medium to propagate communication between client and server through what? www, World Wide Web. So you type everything HTTP, right? That HTTP yes means it's a security secure. So this is not a part, this is HTTP protocol. So what exactly is that? Is what the web service. So here, what we are doing, you are sending a request from client to, this is a server. So what happens exactly? It will go as an JSON file, HTML file with the help of some method. So what are all those methods? I'll tell you now, and you get the response. Easiest way to remember that is CRUD. CRUD. First, if you want to create an FB account, you will give a lot of data. Am I right? Am I right? Everyone, you create something. So for that, we call technically it is a post. I'll show those keywords. And you already created an FB profile. In that search, if you go and enter your friend names, it is giving a lot of details, right? What is that? Read. This is this one create. We call that as a post technically. Another one, this is a read. We say that get. Another one, okay, you want to update the password, right? This is update. Update the password. There comes put. And finally, no, I don't want EFB. You're deleting it, right? So what is the method? Delete. So this HTTP method, we also have patch, partial update. As of now, you remember this keyword. Even in SQL, this is how we remember it. So you're sending, okay, I want to create, or I want to retrieve the data, or I want to update it, or I want to delete it. Only in this 4 category you can able to communicate. Only these 4. There will not be any other way, any other method. Your requirements will be served with the help of create, read, update, delete. Okay, and that is also keep it in your mind. Why we need a web service? I have already said this reason. First, variety of different programming platforms like .NET, AngularJS, Node.js, whatever be the web applications or any other application, I should be able to communicate. And these are all called heterogeneous applications. So multiple application. Then every application will have a different programming language, different platform. Then also I should be able to communicate. And here is where web service comes in. Web service provide a common platform, allows multiple application built on various programming language. That is what how you're going to communicate it through the web service. Now, how it is communicating? One is through SOAP web service, another one is through RESTful web service. So this is type of web service, how it is communicating between the client and server. One is, it is a web service, SOAP web service. This one is RESTful. What is the full form of SOAP? Simple Object Access Protocol. REST means representational state transfer. So long it is, see, I'm saying both of them are important. We never know what is the project you're going to work, what type of REST service, what type of web service they will be using, either SOAP or RESTful. We will not have any idea about that. So in general, I will come to that. Wait for it. And this, not to come to this, you have to wait for at least 2 to 3 hours. Tomorrow only I can teach you that. This SOAP web service means through XML file we are doing it. This is the sort of an architect using JSON file. So this is how it will communicate. It is like if you consider any project, there may be web service only, or this plus this web and so that is SOAP and REST. You very rare that I have a project or a company that uses RESTful. Very rare. So it means what? You must have an idea about how to do the SOAP web service and also REST. Either it's a SOAP or REST. We have only 4 methods. CRUD. Remember. Another word, client, server. This is request, this is response. So these are all terminologies you should remember. Okay. And the topic is SOAP UI, right? See, this is a tool, guys. This is a tool. In this tool, you can use both the way of communication. See, don't get confused. We can able to communicate both the things. But what is the difference is, this is web service, this is a tool. You have many tools like Postman API. It's a tool which we can do web service RESTful. And another one is REST assured. I said no, this REST assured, they specifically developed for RESTful web service. Postman, these are all tool. But What is the way? Because most of them, where people will get confused is this. Okay, so web service itself, it's a tool. No, this is it is like communication. This is a way you communicate, but these are all tools names. So you must understand the difference between the way of communication and the tool. So first we are going to focus on SOAP UI tool. In that tool, how can we do the web service of using the SOAP UI? Once this is done, then we will move on to the RESTful. See, so most of the process, whatever I'm doing it here, I will be doing it here also. So what I will do, some features I will explain with SOAP, some feature I will explain with RESTful. So in your requirement, you should able to understand accordingly, you should use it. Yeah, it's a tool name. Everything, it's a tool name only. You have only two types of web service. What it is? SOAP and RESTful web service. Other than this, anything comes that is called a tool name. So rather than remembering the tool name, you can change your strategy. Remember the types of web service. It's going to be SOAP web service, or you're going to share me an XML file or JSON file. Okay. Now we are going to fully focus on SOAP alone. It's a web service, type of web service. It is using a SOAP UI tool, we are doing it. Using the same SOAP URL, we can also use the REST also. So understand between the type of web service and the types of tools. Any tool, only two ways you can communicate it. Some tools are specially designed for REST service because that is dominating in the industries for last couple of years. Everyone wants to do the REST because that is little bit advanced, good architectures, some additional features. We have it lightweight than XML. So later I'll show you the difference between XML and JSON, which one is better. Those point we'll discuss it. So let's focus on SOAP. SOAP means, one sec. Till now, everyone at least got an idea what is web service team. Please ping me. All right, is your hand. Okay. Very important team. You're getting a knowledge like an architect. After a few years, you gonna guide some big teams. Any company, remember any company, they will ask you, do you have an idea about web service? Such an important topic. That's why one simple example I gave. Actually, if you think the same Go IBPO, you will have so many API, hotel API. Just imagine how many hotels we have around the globe. Every hotel will have their own server, right? Server, that client and server. So if the second you put Chennai, like 100 hotels you'll get. Mahabalipuram, you'll get 100 hotels. You put Delhi, you will get it. Himachal, like that, it depends on the places it is showing the hotel. How we are getting in the next fraction of second, client, server. So if you consider the automation project, it is purely, there are 100% pure UI project, GUI project, front end. There are some project and like 90, 10%. Some project like 50%, it's all about web service. Some project 100% purely it is web service. So which one should I choose? Means always go with this. Go with UI. You are well trained in the UI. UI is very easy. This is also easy. But what is the problem here is the scope when it comes for switching the job very high for UI testing than web service. Web service now it's like a value added. If you know it, it is good. That is the one minute difference. So any question, put in the chat so that recording will be clear. Okay, let's go to the SOAP. What is the full form of SOAP? Simple Object Access Protocol. And as I already said, it's an XML based protocol for access the web service over HTTP. We use the HTTP method. And it's again, we are communicating it and we are also transferring the data. Yes, it is transferring from one to another. It is carrying the data. And it is very easily we can able to connect the remote services and remote method. So this SOAP web service means first thing XML, and it carries the data. So now I have introduced a word called XML. What is that XML? We have already seen it, but still so many of them new nowadays. WXML, W3 school. So you must go through this because XML, relative XPath, absolute XPath. We have seen n number of topics which is related to XML, XPath. So please watch the recordings. Just I will go through and just small overview. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language, and why it is designed to store, to save the value and to transport the data. And again, this was designed to both human and machine readable. See, by seeing this, we can also read it. It's giving me the information. See, from to from, what is the heading, what is the body. So it is human readable. I can able to understand. Not only human, even machine can also understand when you send a file as .xml. And the second thing, any XML, there are some words you should remember. XML. It is tags we used to see like this. Here another word we call it as node. Everything as a node. So it will start tag. Anything will start with start tag and end tag. This is how they will mention it. Start tag means it will be like this. End tag means it will be like this. Backslash, forward slash, right? Forward slash. See, node means node. Start end, to, from. So within that, you give a value. No, that is what you are saving that value, storing the value into. So to will go and send what is the value inside this. So this is what XML, and you have a lot of things in XML. You can go through that. And why you want to study XML? Because it plays a major role in the important IT system, even in automation. And again, see, often used for distributing data over internet. It is sending values between client and the server. And very it is important for all the software developer to have a good understanding. So XML is very, very important. Banking project and all, literally they work in XML, writing the rules based on the XML request and get the respective response like that. Then those topics we will discuss it later, Praveen. This will confuse others also. So I'm not answering that question. What you will learn. So, okay, this is what. Fine. XML is 10. So now go back to the slide. So this slide is done. And what is the advantage of SOAP? Remember, whatever the advantage I said for the web services, of course, that will be applicable for even XML also, right? This is way we are sending the data using the SOAP request. Sorry, SOAP web service. So it is designed for what? Platform independent, operating system independent, programming independent. So it can be developed with different operating system, Linux, Mac, Windows, different programming language, Python, Java, Ruby, whatever it is. Still I want to communicate. So SOAP is having such feature, and it's a lightweight protocol. So it means what? Very less MB, not MB, KB. With KB, you can pass large data. MB and all, even you can have more data. And it works on how this you are sending using 4 methods. Actually, we have many, mainly CRUD through HTTP method, HTTP protocol. So which is a default protocol used by all the web application, they will use it. Hence, there is no sort of customization which is required to run on web service build. So the SOAP protocol to work on the web. So already the web pages are using the HTTP protocol. XML also follows, the SOAP UI is also following that. So you no need to do a separate configuration, everyone on the same line. So now we are going to focus on SOAP message structure. So you're going to send one letter, going to send request and response. That should have some format. That is where SOAP message structure. 1 second. Team. So remote is not good. Okay, fine. Now, okay. Anyhow, I will show some examples. First, I'm going to glance you through the slides. Then we will start the installation followed by some examples. SOAP message structure. You're going to send a communicate between what? Client, server. So you're sending some letter, some message. There should be some format. This is again you're sending as an XML. So what is that format? So it will have two things. First, if you send a letter, now we are not sending the letter. At that time, we will send a letter. You will put inside the envelope, right? Inside the envelope, then you will send a letter. Same way, everything will be having inside the envelope. Inside the envelope, two things are important. One is header, another one is body. This one is optional. Some letter you can even send without writing your name. You can do that. The person will receive it. If it is properly in the envelope, if you write the address and send means it will go. That same way here also, inside the envelope, you are sending the data in the XML format, sometimes with header, sometimes header and body. So two components, two divisions we have it. So what that? Now let's focus on one by one. Envelope. So you are sending some data in the XML format. See, these are all XML. You have a start tag, end tag, start tag, end tag. Anything you take that will have start tag, end tag. So it is in the XML format. The SOAP envelope is used to encapsulate all the necessary details of SOAP message, which are exchanged between the web services and the client application. So what I was saying initially, same thing they are saying. And here you see this envelope. So it is not like you send an XML file, definitely it will work. No, not at all. It will look for this word, whether envelope is there or not. And the respective, we will have something like this, that server details, client, because you're saying, okay, go and look for the server with this particular configuration and so many things. So everything, if you want to send a message, what do you need to do? You have to give from and to address and all, right? So that will fall under envelope. Now, this envelope element, again, it's a mandatory. You must mention or else it will not work. There's an element used to indicate the beginning and end of the SOAP message. Yes, it's a beginning and it is the end of the structure. This enables the client application which calls a web service to know that when actually when you send a message, the client server, when it see, yeah, there is an XML file coming, it will go and read it. Yes, envelope is that, and this is the message I wanted. Now comes the second one. So not second one, you have the envelope. In that one is header, another one is body. This header is optional. remember. Optional, sometimes with header, sometimes without header. In some applications, we have to give some additional information, additional settings like server details, some authentication credentials. So in that requirement, we will configure the header element. One simple example, it is having an envelope, and see here, header. We have a header, request header. So it is trying to communicate with an API, and it's clearly say these are all the details. Actor must understand INS nodes. So it is giving some credentials, some access credentials. When you send, there may be, because some of the banking application will look for some credentials to access the server, because the data is that much important, not like anyone come inside and take the data. There should be some format. Again, in that format, envelope will start and end. In some case, we'll put the header, but it's an optional. Most of the like authentication details, it will be mentioned in the header. Then comes the body. It is very, 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 very important, because what? It is mandatory. And see in this diagram, you have a body. You have a body. Of course, it starts with the envelope. But here, there is no header, no details of header, but it is having a body. So you can read it. Okay, you're going to add two number, 5, 10, both of them integer data type. So it is a calculator program. So you will get a response of integer data type value 15. So you're sending the XML file. Here I'm mentioning the main data. So body element that contains call and response information. And this element is what contains the actual data which needs to be sent between the client application, that is server between client and server. So how you are sending as an XML file, where you will mention in the body, this one. So now comes, if you see this envelope, in the body, there is one more word they mentioned. What is that? Is fault. So when you get a positive response, it won't said, so you're getting a response. It's a positive response. Sometimes you may get error message. This error message is called as fault. SOAP fault. So you are trying to enter invalid credentials, and it says, right, the credential is invalid. You're getting the response. Actually, you're getting the response when you enter, but you will not say that as a response. We'll say that as a SOAP fault. So if you see here, it's an optional fault element that provides information about errors that has occurred while processing the message. And then when an error occurs during the processing, the response to the SOAP message is a SOAP default. So you're getting a response. If that is an error, means what is another word? It is a SOAP fault. If you see this word, means what? It got failed. Where it will be? Inside the body. If you get a response, that's a positive scenario. If you get a fault, it's a negative scenario. You got some error. So you have to analyze that error and fix it. So the body, the fault is written to the sender of the SOAP. Okay, till now you are having an application. You're going to communicate between the application. When you first one is using SOAP web service. If you want to communicate in the SOAP web service, you have to use XML. The XML file will have some format. It starts with the envelope. So it should be within the envelope, and the envelope with having two parts. One is header, another one is body. So header means what? some additional authentication information, server details, those things. It's an optional. It varies from project to project, application to application. Body means it's a compulsory. So positive scenario means we will say that as a response. If it is a negative, if it is other than saying negative, if it is an error, I will say that as a fault. Everything falls under the body. So till now, everyone got some idea. Now we are going to test these stuff with the help of some applications. So, okay, Wstl file is there. Okay. So this link. So this is a website. When you go here, this talks about the how one simple web application they have created for the calculator: add, divide, multiply, and subtract. Add, divide, multiply, and subtract. 4 methods there. And every method inside some code implementation will be done. But this, we are saying API, it is trying to no, Sandhya. Actually, envelope will have all the data. Inside envelope, you have two things. One is header, another one is body. So server details, everything will come under header. Everything inside the envelope only, right? So in that, what is the format? Two area. One is header, another one is body. So this is a front end of application, but what is the back end? See, this is how it is developed. Your this addition of two numbers, subtraction, you're trying to do it right, but how this is getting communicated? What is the backend code? That's where this link will come. WSDL we call as Wstl file. So actually, that is the next prerequisite. Before we see the application, we will understand what is meant by Wstl file. Lot of theory initially. Remember, team, I'm giving this theory not just for one tool. This is a one-time event. After that, any tool I will directly go and talk about XML, JSON. Because all the tools we will be using same, just same story. But tools alone, it's getting changed. So now next term, because who knows, sometimes you may go and work in a web service project. So some of the terminologies you should know it. Or else if you say that I have some experience, then also interview questions they will ask it. So first terminology is, it is called as not WSDL, Wstl. So again, what does Wstl means? Web service description language. So you are going to create a web service and you're describing it. Okay, like this it should be. In what based? Using the XML format. It tells all the client application what that particular web service will do. That is, this application is used for mathematics, some application used for some other reason. How you will know it? From the Wstl file. And again, Wstl file is used to describe in nutshell what web service does and give the client all the information required to connect the web service and all the functionality provided by it. So what they are saying, that one file will have all the details. What are all the features? If you take, maybe if I press calculator, this is you're going to do right something you're doing. What happened? Some communications happening. So, but what are all the, it gives an idea, this having positive, plus, minus, division, some other functionality. So it gives an all the information, that is what are the functionality it is providing in the web service. In one word, how it is called as Wstl file, contract of the web service. By chance, if you go and work in any of the web service, you need this file to test it. So what is the technical terminology they will use is contract. So you want to start the testing, you want to do something. So how you should go and ask, can you give contract of that particular project? It means what? You're asking that .wstl file that will contain all the data about the application. But in one word, how it is called is, it is called contract. So now Wstl, you can do it's just like a postcard which has an address of a particular location, and it provides details of the person who delivered the postcard. Hence, in the same way, Wstl file is a postcard which has address of the web service, which can deliver of all the functionality that clients wants. In the postcard will have all the details, right? Where you're going to give this to which person, like that you're saying. No, same way, Wstl file will have, okay, these are all the functionality you can do it. If you do this one, you will get the respective response. So what is the folder structure is? The folder structure, it's having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types, message, port, binding, service ports. This one is important. We will focus on this. But what is type? Let's see with the what type of data. So I'll go with the application. So this is the Wstl file. I'm going to maximize it. One sec. Type. One is type. Another one is message, port types, message, port types. One sec. See, you can see. Definitions, you have a type, message. First we'll put like this. Port type, binding. Okay. So we'll read that and come back here. So one is type. What does type of what data types will be transferred? So you can see that type here. Port type, service port, not that one. Yeah, this is a type. So you're saying what type of a data we are going to pass it. Int, see, when someone going to add, that number must be of int data type. So this gives what type of data. Then comes message. It will have some message, port type, binding, and service port. So message means what message should I transfer. Port type means what are the business operation will be supported. So you see port type. See, the message means if someone is going to add it, what is the response I'm going to give. If it is, again, if you're going to multiply of two number, it is saying this needs to be integer, this to be an integer, then the response also will get the integers. Just an overview, you no need to read this and all. For understanding purpose, I'm saying. And the port number also we can able to see it here. Element, name, all these methods are available. Plus division and message. If it is an add, what should I do? Subtract, what should I do? After that, port number, exactly where these things are available. You have to keep somewhere which port to use it. Binding name, This is like build 1, build 2. First build, they have something. After that, binding 2. So in this application, it is developed like this. In real-time scenario, we will have n number of binding or only one binding. Purely depends upon the requirement. Okay. So this one, it's not possible for anyone to read it. With this, you go and test it means it's impossible. So there comes the tool support. In SOAP UI, if you mention this, automatically it will filter and give, okay, these are all the features this particular class is providing, this particular Wstl file is providing. Then you will start using those features. Anyhow, I'm going to show that practically. So this Wstl file term you should remember. One is abstract definition of the service and the protocol, physical location, where it is located, those stuff in two part. And you can see type means what type of data I'm going to pass, what type of message I'm going to pass, and the port details. Binding means how it is transferred on that wire. Binding 1, binding 2 purely depends on application. And the service ports means where this particular service is located, like that. Okay. Now we have to install the SOAP UI. Remember, SOAP protocol, SOAP web service is different. UI tool, we are going to use the tool. And when this again you type SOAP UI, this is the official website. soapui.org, go through this. And you can able to see we have the documentation, very nice documentation. You can able to learn some additional stuff because it is again an equivalent deep topic like GUI testing. It's like you have to, how much effort we mentioned for GUI, same way you have to mention it, you have to apply it for the SOAP this also. So all this documentation, everything it is here. How we are going to read this XML document, because in this way I can't read and understand. So we use some tool. So one such tool is SOAP UI. This is having two versions. One is open source, another one is ready API. Because nowadays the rest also becoming, it is highly used. So the company is giving two things. One is free version, another one is you have to pay for it. We can able to complete all our requirement with the help of SOAP UI open source. Or with this, it is easy for us to practice and also clear the interview. No need of ready API. And see, this tool is used for all the things, REST, SOAP, GraphQL, so many things are there. Just click on get started. And thus again, when you click on download, it will take you to this page. Download the best API testing tool for your needs. You have two things. One is ready API, another one is SOAP UI open source. Click on this. I'm just canceling it. It will take some time. I have already downloaded like 500 MB file. And so ready API is also there, but it is free for only 14 days. And it is having faster, what's possible in SOAP UI. Faster, so many REST feature, many things are there. So let's try to install it. C drive, SOAP UI. So this is a version I have downloaded. See, 64, Windows 64, 5.7. So you can see what we can able to do with this particular SOAP UI. You can scriptless functional testing, security testing we can do the load testing in this tool. mock testing, protocol support, and vibrant in this one community ecosystem. So let's try to install it. Right click, run as administrator. You will get a pop-up. I think that will not be shown during the screen sharing. That pop-up, what it asks is, do you want to allow this app to make the changes to your device? Just click on yes. You can able to see it started installation. Yes. No big thing. You have to just click on next. Very easy process, team. Just click on next. And just remember this path. It is in the program file. What is the name of that? Smart via. Then SOAP UI, the version. It requires like 300 plus MB. Click on next. It is there. Next. That's it. So I am not changed any of the thing. Just next. That's it. So if you see here, we got this. Click on finish. Release notes. So this is going to open the tool. So in the tool, let's see. First time alone, any tool that will take some time to launch. So Taxi so PY 5.7.0. Yes. When you open for the first time, you will not have these things. These are all my old projects for the corporate training. So you're getting some link here. So REST means that deals with the URL, not Wstl file. We'll see this later. Just close this. So we have first example, we're gonna see with the help of calculator example, calculator application. This is that link, or else you can Google it and you will get this link, Wstl link. Anything is fine. You can take it from here or from there. Just copy this. Now, from the Wstl file, it is saying like we are providing add, divide, multiple, subtract. So many details are there. This is every details is important for the web service developer. We are going to test it, right? So in the SOAP UI, what you need to do is file, new SOAP project. You can select like this. This is a one way, or else see here. So create a new SOAP project. Either way you can do it. File, SOAP project. Now see, it is a new SOAP project. Project name and a Wstl, that link. Just mention this. Automatically you will get some calculator. Okay, just to differentiate, multiple projects are there. Good mix. You're creating a project. The second you mention Wstl, it will generate some name. You can use that or rename. And we have so many options here. First one, create sample request for all operation, that is addition, subtraction, everything. And you want to create a test suite, that is directly n number of test cases you can create it. Like this we have. First, let's go with this one. Click on OK. Now it is reading. And you can able to see here. See here, this is a project. We have two things, calculator, so then 12. What that mean? That is binding. We have two binding. See, one binding calculator. S- So after that, some additional things they have added. Still it is there. So two binding we have. Which one to use? Both. It's all a demo page only. You can use any one as per your wish. So if you take this first build, this next build like that, if you consider also fine. But now the second we mentioned that link when we clicked on then creating a new project, it is saying see addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, all this functionality available. Let me go. This is a project. Let me go and check this. Add. Double click. Just a second. Okay, this request. So this is how it will look like. See, envelope we have it, header we have it, optional, and there is no details of header. You have a body. What it is for? It is for addition of two number, and two number means what type of data type? It's of int a and b integer data value. If you put some what is that float, then it will throw the error. So this is a request. You can also see here request one. Now let me give some random value like maybe some 10 plus 5. You have this. I want to run this. So if it is a calculator, what we will do? We are doing like this, no? It giving 15. So that is what I'm doing. I'm going to add two number. This will go and hit the respective place and give the response. You're sending the request. When you run this, submit a request to the specified endpoint URL. So this is that endpoint URL, that particular website. To that it is communicating and getting the response. This is your request. The second you run, you got the response. Whenever web services come, the response codes are important. So here you saw XML, the way you have to mention the XML and also raw data, how it is given here. Let's go to the response. Again, as an XML and a raw data. What is the status code? 200. Success. And you're getting some other additional informations. Let's go to the XML. Let's understand. Again, soap, envelope, you have a body. In that, you have the response. What is that response? 15. So this is requesting. You're sending a request by adding a two number. So at the end, we should get the output, right? That is called response. So 10 plus 5, 15, you got the response. See, add response. How this is done, how this is happening, everything it's already designed in this particular web service. Support in, support, everything is just inside this. No need to worry about Wstl file. You have better tools. The second you mention this link, automatically it will extract and give in the best way. Same way if you do it like multiplication. Okay, if you want to multiply 10 with 20, 200. This question mark is there. See, anyhow, you got a fault, right? When something is wrong, what? It will throw you the fault. So let me execute again. 200 pass. So when you multiply two number of integer data type, you will get the response 200. So this is multiply response. So like this only, we are sending the XML files as a request and it will, what is the technical word is endpoint. See, it is endpoint. Nothing but the URL. It will go and hit that live URL. Based on your request, the particular URL will give you the response. So at least now, to some extent, your knowledge improved team, from one level to next level. Practically, what is happening, how this request is going, it hits that particular server and getting the response. Good, right? Just give me 5 minutes, stream, and let me drink water and come. So why the calculator is accepting only int means that is how the Wstl file, the contract, it is developed. So if you go and check it here, see, you're doing subtraction or you're doing addition, and in that input you're giving like this. So the same thing if you come to the bottom, this one, think, so giving some parameter, message, binding, input. Yeah, this, we no need to worry about a lot about that. This is like development of web service, the backend development. Web service developer will take care of this, but you want to understand about, in as a testing point of view, is what are all the operation it is providing. You can go through this, or else simplest way, just mention that URL in the SOAP project. Automatically it will create the this way all the operations or the features it is providing along with the request. If you go and open and see, there will be a request, multiply, divide, everything. It clearly defined. This is how the requirement is defined. Okay, fine. Now, if we talk about testing, testing means validation, actual and the expected. That is the one thing. And expected means you have to validate the response. So many validations are available. So let me take this positive one. You're trying to add it. So we want to add this validation where it will be. See, there is no option called plus symbol. So it means what? This is like writing a program of hard coding. If you want to try with some other value, you want to validate this, means it is not possible. So what should I do is, first I should, with the help of this, I should able to create the suit, then test case, test step, like that. So some sequence are there here. We have already created project, right? Then it is suit, test suit, then test case. I'll say test case, test suit. So every test case inside that we will have test step. So you're going to create this automation and we can able to customize as per our wish. How to do that? First, you should decide which binding. As of now, I'm going with this particular binding. Here, this one. Now, first thing, right click, generate test suite. That's a one way. Or else you can click or right click on the project. Can you able to see new test suite theme? Yes, right. This is the first we are creating test suite. What is the test suite name? Now we are in September. Okay, I will put like sanity suite. So all the test case we are going to create sanity. So you have a sanity suite. Inside the sanity suite, I'm going to create 2 test case now. 2 as an assignment, that is addition another one is subtraction. Test case number 1 for addition. And right click. See, if one is above the project, when you right click, you can able to see the test suite. So first we created project, then test suite, now test case. Right click about this and you see new test case. So what is the test case? Test case 01. This is for addition. I'm going to do it. Click on OK. Yes, you got this one. Test case 1. Now, here we didn't still implement any of this method. So there comes the next one. Right click, add, see. First is project, suite, test case, then test step. I was going to add multiple test step, maybe adding of single digit, adding of double digit, adding of negative numbers, like that 3 scenarios. So right click above that and see add step. What is that? It's a SOAP request. And here only we will add all the Groovy script automation and all. This is the step we'll do it. So click on SOAP request. You will get like this. I'll put like, I'm going to add single digit. This again, you click on OK, you will get this window. So this is the place it will ask which one you want. So it just went and read all the operations available and it is showing. One is C, one is 1, another one is the C. Calculator, so calculates out 12, binding 12. So I'm going with binding 12. Which method? I want to go with the addition method. Choose that. Now this again you click on OK. That request it will be added here. Okay. It is asking you. Okay, name is correct. Very, very important. Most of the time, especially as a fresher in trainings, when I conduct, they will do this mistake. They will forget to check this one. Create optional content in the sample request. This one. See, when you click on this, then only whenever you have an optional, that tag also you will get it. In many cases, you are going to send a request as an optional also. So make sure you're checking this last one and click on OK. Yes, we got the request. Now you can write a test case for your data. Like that, multiple steps you can do it. And this, no one is going to update it. No one going to change it. And can you able to see one plus symbol here? Everyone? Yes, right? So this is called assertion. And see here, is there any plus symbol? No. You can't add any assertion. Assertion means what? Validation. In Java also we have seen Java assertion is there. Even TestNG assertion is there. So assertion means actually expected. So many things we are going to validate it. So see here. That is why when you want to create a test suite, what you should, when you want to perform anything, what you should do it first, try to create the test suite, test case, test step. In that, you can go and play with it. See, first one, single digit. See that plus symbol. Now you can add any assertions. Okay. What I will do is, as of now, assertion we will see quite later, because we have so many assertions. But first, this I'll put like 50, 25. Let's try to execute it. I'm going to send a request. I will get the response. So what happened? It just went and hit that particular server and we got the answers. 200. Okay. See the response? 75. We got 75. What about this plus? You will have so many assertions. A separate topic I will teach you. You can check the performance of the application. You can write the automation script. You can check whether this status code is here. We are getting 200, right? Those things I can check it. So the response request, everything I can able to check it. HTTP code, and in the response, whether we have any values or not using XPath mechanism. So many, whether it having the some word. So many assertion there. Assertion, it's a separate topic. As of now, let's try to explore into this tool. And you see here this. So this is just an exploration. We have one application. This is one banking application. Using this only, I'm going to teach you all the assertion. So because calculator example is very easiest basic application. Trust me, you go and Google it. In all the YouTube, they would have explained with this calculator. With this website, definitely we can't able to learn most of the advanced concept. But just to get practice, just to make you to understand, I used this example. So you're getting the request, sending the request, getting the response. C200, okay, HTTP. Same way, I can try to add one more step. One step is adding of single digit. So see, it is green color, it ran. Next step, add step. Above this or above this, anything is fine. So request. This is going to add the double digit. Okay. It is asking what you want to do. Yes, I want to add it. Okay. Add double digit. Yes. Okay. Here itself. Single digit, no? So now 14. Double digit. Something I'm saying, some scenarios. Randomly this scenario. Sending the request. Getting the response. What is the response? 75 plus 25, 100. And then request one more time. Third step. This is negative. Add only. Add the negative scenario. Just to try to get the fault of it, because till now everything was in green color. Click on OK. Okay. So now what I will do is single digit, double digit. Let me try to add then 12.5. What is this? This is float. This is integer. Let me run it. See here. Can you all able to see this? Actually, see, raw means the status code. Raw data, find that status code. It means that it is not working. Sometimes 404 and all we will get it right. So that is what this meaning. And when you go for XML, in the response, can you all able to see the fault? What do you mean by fault? Negative scenario. This is what fault? So in the starting itself, we saw something like this one. What is header? Body. Body is having positive scenario means they will say response body. If it is fails, if we get an any error message, then we call it as fault. Back to the tool. See here. Yes. Fault. So first thing is done. But in generally, I'm speaking. Let me close these things. So if you see here, I'm executing one by one by one. One by one by one. This data is already customized. So this is already saved. When we want to try this sanity suit again, directly we can run it. No need to change it unless if needed. You got the error. Okay. Can you all able to hear me? Can you all able to hear me? Okay, perfect. Now, this is step by step. What if I want to run the entire test case? Double click. See, double click. You will get this one. See, test case one. Run this test case, stop. And you have all the 3 steps. 1, 2. Initially, we did like an unit testing. One particular thing we have ran one step. Now, all the 3 steps. How to do that? Double click on the test case. Click on green button. Say it is executed. All the 3. It is executed. Perfect. And you can able to see the log, case log. So first we added this one, this one, this one. How long it took in terms of performance, we can able to do it. So many things are there here. And okay. What if I want to run this is step I have executed. Test case I have executed. Test suite multiple test case means you will have to double click this. Then you can able to execute all the test case together. We have only one test case. Let me try to create another test case. Right click, new test case. Test case for subtraction. So this is done. Now what we can do? Now I'm going to teach you one simplest shortcut. If you follow that, you can save a lot of time. So mainly in the projects, everyone will be doing that way only. This one. Right click, add step, SOAP request. That's all. Right click. Okay. That step, let's try it. Forgot it. 1 minute. We have generate test suite. No, right? Generate test suite. Okay. See here. You can able to generate test suite in different format. Add, multiplication, division, all the things in a single go also you can do it. This is some easiest way. So you already have a sanity suit. In that, what you are going to do it? One test case for each operation. One test case with one request for one operation. Use the existing interface. Create a new empty. Like this, you can do all the combination because here just 1 or 2 or maximum 4 methods. What if for example, let me remove this. So with this, I'm going to generate the test suite. Okay, let me create a new one. One test case for each operation. Create a new one, all the 4. Maybe a regression suite, we can do it. Click on OK. This, what is the suite name? I'm going to create a regression suite. Click on OK. See, add test case. Now go and see, add how we created this one. But now all the 4 method we have it. That is what this option, one test case for each suit. Now you have to rename it. That's another way. So rather than you can do it like previous way, like step by step, or else you want to generate everything together means right click, generate test suite one more time. This time single test case with one request for each operation. Okay. Maybe smoke testing. Click on OK. So go to the CS smoke testing. In one particular suit, you have one test case which contains all the 4 steps. See, this is one way of purely depends upon your requirement. First requirement, I am creating a test case. In that, the test case related to that, I'm adding different combination, adding of single digit, double digit, negative scenario. This is I'm trying to create a test case for each one, almost this one. Now you will have it. You will have only add. You can try to add one by one. That is also possible. Third way is only one test case, all the method, add, division, multiplication, subtraction. So these are all some easy or shortcut you can able to generate it. So as of now, please don't use this option as of now, because when we learned Java automation using Java, first the fundamentals we focused, naming the convention, naming the variables. So if we are clear about that sequence, then we applied it into the automation in the Selenium. Same way here, if you do this, you will not have any idea about hierarchy, naming convention and all. You will do a mistake, but please don't do it. This is once you're very familiar, that time you can use this. Okay, let me create like how you need to do it is sanity only. We started. Right click, new test case. One more time, I'm doing it for you. Test case 0 to subtraction. So in the subtraction, I'm going to try with. Okay, Robert, thank you for saying it. That's fine. So subtraction, add step. I'm going to add SOAP request. First one, subtract single digit. Okay. So you have to choose the respective method, operation, which binding 12. Now click on make sure this optional content is selected. Click on OK. So this is for subtraction. Try to subtract 8 minus 2. Run it. You got the answer 6. See here, we got the answer 6. You subtracted 8 minus 2. We got the response 6, and also the status is correct. Status code. Same way. Add SOAP request. Subtract. You can add like double digit. Okay. Go for subtract. Click on OK. OK. So here 50, 10. I'm just randomly trying to create scenario so that I can do a sanity testing, run the multiple suit and all. 240. It means what? 50 minus 10, 40. One more time. SOAP request. Subtraction. Negative. Scenario. Click on OK. Again. Subtract. OK. OK. Negative scenario. You put any value. Maybe 19. 5.26. Run it. 500. Internal error. It is a fault code. So like this only we have to execute. So when it comes for execution, you can run as a step. You can run as a test case. Now, if you double click above the suit, you can run as what? run as suit. All the test case 1, 2, 3. So all you need to do is click on this. First, it will run the first test case, second test case. In real-time scenario, we may have n number of test case. Everything will be executed one by one. And here you see this option is very important. This is nothing but test case run in sequence. What about this one? Test case runs in parallel. Parallel means parallel execution. Grid we have already seen. TestNG we have already seen. Parallelly, all the test case will trigger together. See this green color, how it moves. I'm the sequential way. First test case 1, test case 2. Now I'm changing this settings to parallel execution. Let me run this. It started together actually. If you observe, very minute microsecond difference, but it started together. So what is an advantage of parallel execution means? Of course, it saves the execution time. And again, if you want to execute all the test suite, sanity, regression, smoke testing means we have a double click on this. You can able to see test suite. All the test suite. Run it. Of course, we don't have any value here, but test suite also can be executed. We can also kickstart everything in a sequential way, both sanity, regression, smoke testing. So these are all some good options we have it. One is test step, test case, test suite, multiple test suite. That's another way. And we also have something called right click, launch test runner. Click on this. See here, you can able to create a report. So many things like I want to execute all the test suite. No, I want to execute only sanity. In that all the test case are only one. Those options I can able to do it. And we can able to generate the reports where it needs to be saved and so many global properties and all that. That's the topic I'm going to teach you tomorrow. Just click on launch. Again, the file path I didn't give. That's why it is throwing the error. I should give the path. Automatically there the results file will be saved. So first we understood basics. What do you mean by web API? First, what is API? Then we understood what is about the web service. We install the SOAP UI. In that, we are using the calculator demo. And in order to add the assertion, still I didn't add the assertion. This is tomorrow's topic. This we will learn it with some real-time application. This calculator, everywhere you can find it. But tomorrow I will show you banking application. In banking application, how we are adding an employee, how we are updating an employee, how we are retrieving the employee details, deleting the employee details, all those stuff it will be there. And after that, test suite, test case, test step. So how to execute everything one by one. So we understood how to create, how to execute. Now we have some important topic, that is, this is an hard-coded value, right? How we can able to give it from the particular step. Then how can I pass the value from here to from one test case to another test case? So many features, how I am going to add all the assertion, SLA, or how I'm going to write the automation test case, security testing, everything we can able to do it. That's the most important module, which we will be covering it tomorrow with some other application. I hope this is what we started today is the fundamentals with very easy demo website. So tomorrow you make sure you're joining the training, because tomorrow is the most important topic. This is just fundamental. that topic is the one you will be using it in the real-time project. In real-time project, definitely we will be using those things. Assertions, reading from the data and removing all hard-coded value, passing from one step to the another step, then automation test case. Multiple things are there, which we are going to see in the upcoming days. Mostly I will be making this video as public to everyone because this is just a basics. Not an issue, even though this web service is only for the paid members, but we have a lot of things. So introductions alone, I will put it for others. Easy topics, but when it comes for real-time application, like banking applications, book applications, store applications, those and all, it will be in the unlisted, and I will upload this video. It will be in public, but still I will share the link, and I will also mention this link in the Canvas portal. You can refer it. If it is unlisted, means you can open only through the Canvas portal. And then very importantly, I will share those links in the group. Please, whenever we put a message in the groups, cross check that. So I'm going to stop the recording. After that, we can discuss on all your queries. Okay. So I forgot to tell the assignment. Again, it's an optional, but if you want to practice it, I have created for addition and subtraction. So you need to use this. You have to create a project, create the test suite, test case for multiplication and division. 3 scenarios like this. You need to do it. If you can able to do that way, then you're good to go for the next level. Okay, team. That's the one I want to convey. Just passing the recording. Thank you.